Wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds.
I feel a bit awkward talking through our national anthem, Liam.
Feels a bit rude, doesn't it?
It does feel a bit rude. Apologies to anyone who might be listening who's at the ground, but unfortunately it's not coming up loud enough on our effects mic for the radio. So
could try and lean out the window, but I reckon I could fall out if I
start singing it too.
Oh no, you wouldn't want that, mate. No.
In joyful strains and let us sing. Advance Australia fair. And the pies. I mean, is that what you...
The only thing we're missing now was the siren to go and about 85,000 people at the MCG.
Well, that's why I said go to pies. This is the last time I heard it. That was...
We're ready to toss the coin to get ready for the big match. May I welcome Avril. Are you right in those heels, Avril? Everyone give Avril a round of applause, helping her get across the grass.
Bit of an AFL vibe to this at the moment.
Yes.
Who's got a coin? David? Ball?
That'd be the umpires.
Is he out there?
Maybe the umpires got a coin.
All right, let's go. Have you got the coin? Thank you.
So I've got Benny Ashton for YARRA GLEN, the captain out there with Benny Ratton. The two Bens are going to go at it today, Liam. And yes, good old Bobby Allen, he had the coin ready to go. So it's going to be Benny Ratton's call. Benny Ashton will toss it up in the air here.
And it's tails.
And POWELLTOWN are going to go to the left of your radio dial.
Enjoy.
Kick to the racecourse end.
Kick to the racecourse end, and that means YARRA GLEN will be going to the Jimbrook end.
Yeah, I was going to ask today what end would be the Jimbrook end. I was going to say it would be to the right of your screen if you're watching on our Facebook live stream, thanks to the gents at Game Face this afternoon.
Yes.
And what I was going to say, the Melba Highway end, but we'll stick with the Jimbrook end if we have to, but obviously we've got the racecourse end to the left of your radio dial or the left of your screen if you're watching in this afternoon.
And yes, apologies, the siren is rather close to our fixed mic this afternoon, so that always creeps up on us here at YARRA GLEN.
Well, at least you'll be able to hear it.
Yes, we will. I'm going to get this timer ready, Liam, because we don't want to miss that when Leo's not here. He's off on another bowling exhibition.
Nothing. Do you reckon he'd be listening in somewhere if he could?
Oh, if he's got a little earpiece on the green, I'm not sure. Is that part of protocol, or you're allowed
you in the
uniform of official bowls? But the wind always blows to Jimbrook.
Who just texted in?
Mr. Saish, thank you.
Oh, yes.
And you won't be pleased to know, Mr. Saish, that the early score from Upway is Wandon have kicked the first goal and Upway yet to score. So that's one I can give you there. Let's swap this around.
Who was the other man that would text in? The guy from out Gippsland?
Murray from the Murray?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, we'll see what Murray from the Murray's up today. See if he comes through. He might have forgotten what my number is. He'll be texting Leo while he's on the bowling green. That'd be funny.
We still need the humorous text messages coming in because they were they're quite sharp, most of them.
Oh, Murray from Murray, he's on the ball. Mount Evelyn have got the early lead over Belgrave, 1 goal to nothing so far, and Monbulk 117 leading Berry Springs. Have a see if the rest of the games in DIV2 have got underway, and we might even check if there's been some netball scores so far. Kinglake got the early jump on here on Alex, they're 2-1-13, and the inaccurate kicking has continued for Warburton Millgrove. They're 5 behind currently to Broadford yet to score, so that really needs some goal kicking practice around the place, Liam. What is happening?
Just back on that Alexandria game. I tipped Alexandria today in that game, so hopefully they can
they've got
have a bit of a crack.
They've actually surprised quite a few with the way they've begun this season. Just checking, no results in yet from the Premier. That'll start late. Let's see if DIV2 has got any happening here for the netball. Most of the A-grade games run at about this time, or start a bit later during the senior matches in Premier and Div1. So we do have a score from Warburton Millgrove, and this is a really big result for Warby Millgrove. They're currently 34, leading Broadford 18.
Gee whiz.
So Broadford were undefeated on top of the ladder before today, so that's a good result there for Warby so far.
Thank you very much, Cam, as players are making their way to their positions now to get this match underway here at Yarra Glen. A reminder that POWELLTOWN are kicking to the left-hand side of your radio dial or screen if you're watching this afternoon on AFL Air Race on Facebook, thanks to the gentlemen at Game Face. And Yarra Glen are kicking to the Gembrook end or the Melbourne Highway end, which is to the right of your dial or the right of screen. So all appears to be in readiness here for this Pride Cup match between Yarra Glen and POWELLTOWN. Umpire raised the ball, sirens are gone, we're ready to go. Ball is in the air now. Tapped out, one by Ratton, comes to ground, no one can get the clear early ball, but they will now for Yarra Glen. Quick kick inside forward 50, it's going to be a rolling, tumbling ball towards the line. I can hardly see those numbers in the rainbow colours, but we got a free kick here for a high. And it'll be going to Mackenzie by the looks of it, really deep into the pocket here at Yarra Glen.
Not the best place to kick goals from there.
And he goes in board, try to get a mark, but it was a good spoil away there from the POWELLTOWN defence. They'll look to clear now, but they can't get clear ball. Oh, hello, we've got a kick off the boot, and it's gone through for a goal. I couldn't see who that was. That was a very good piece of play there.
The big man down there. I'll try and keep the eyes on him. Down the forward line.
They'd gone less than a minute early on, and Yarra Glen are 1 straight 6, and they're leading POWELLTOWN nothing. Cam, that was...
I need Leo's binoculars. These rainbow numbers, who allowed them? I reckon it was Billy Gardner, number 5.
Well, there we go. That's what we'll go with. We did what we did with Josh and Eel last week.
Yeah, that's right. We were close.
I said he kicked 6, and I was spot on. You thought he kicked 7.
Yeah, we gave him an extra one, Leo and I.
The ball's back in the middle now. Tapped out was won by Ratton once again for POWELLTOWN, but it looks like Yarra Glen will get the clearing ball this time, but they won't. POWELLTOWN come away with it. Good clearing handball there from Cowan, comes to the outer side right in front of us, which is very nice. Handball goes backwards a little bit, but the ball is smothered off the boot. And that's well out, mate. Forget that. You're a good 20 metres out of bounds there.
It has been a long time since Rusty Cowan has played on Yarra Glen's ground. He didn't used to play for Yarra Glen, but he was easily 10 metres over the line. He still went to play like he was still in play.
You could park a couple of cars with all the room he went out of bounds with there. I like the idea though, but the ball will be tossed right back in front of us here. Pretty good throw in. No one really run the tap there. Getting tackled with the ball was Lord, and he's not getting rid of that. The umpire says give it to me and we'll ball it up right in front of us once again. Pretty much on the Pride Cup logo here in front of the people at Yarra Glen.
Yeah, Benny Ratton in the ruck against McCulloch. Ratton there goes with the second one, though. A little one-handed handball, but the umpire was blindsided, and it's going to be a boundary throw in dead centre of wing here.
Gee, that was an interesting handball there. I thought he threw it out.
It was, yes, well, that's what it would have looked like to everybody, but unfortunately, that is not the angle the umpire had in that occasion. Very hard to tell whether there was a handball in there or not from the position in the middle of the ground. So we're going to get a secondary ball up here from the throw-in. Good tackling pressure in there by both sides. So we just right on the Pride symbol here. Penny Ratton out of the rucket again, off to Rusty Cowan on the left foot. Gets it up towards half forward to the feet of Adam Oxley. That's not where he wants them. He's gone to tap along the line and try and get it around his opponent, but it has gone out of bounds and will be a boundary throw-in. Right on the 40-metre line, the rainbow 40-metre line today. Liam?
Indeed, it looks very nice as well, and the ground's in good condition today as well. So the ball's going to be tossed back in, pretty much on that 40-metre line, as you say. Tap out one was won by the Yarra Glen ruckman there. There's Cowan again. That's a high tackle umpire. No, it's not. He'll call for it this time. And it's
well done, Kevin. I'm going to give it kudos to, because the last time we saw Mr. Jose or Mr. Jose do the ball up, so he wasn't signalling as well as he did there.
There's a good punch forward there by Hull by Yarra Glen. The ball goes inside forward 50 this time for POWELLTOWN. They'll look to clear it now, Yarra Glen. It was a good smother off the boot and it'll go out of bounds deep inside the forward 50 for POWELLTOWN, about 15 metres out from goal, right up in the boundary in front of the people here. The ball's going to be tossed back in. Tap out was won by Folks for POWELLTOWN, but Yarra Glen will get the clearing ball to outer side right in front of our commentary position and tumble out of bounds once again for a throw in. About 3.5, 4 minutes gone here, early days, first quarter here at Yarra Glen on Pride Cup Day.
And I'm going to change who that goal went to because I've now picked him up properly. It was Callum Morrison. He got the early one for Yarra Glen. So boundary throw in. The half forward line for Powley. It's one out here by Ashby, and he can't find. It was a bit of a slew kick. He can't find his teammate there, and it's gone out of bounds exactly where it was before. And I'm going to have to let you get it. I've got the pillar in the way here for my view.
It makes a change. Normally we're up in a box today, which is actually quite nice. Normally when I'm in the van, I've got half a window to look out of, but I've got 3/4 out of it to look at today. So the ball's tossed back in. No one run the ruck contest there. The row. Yarra Glen ruckman fell to ground as it's inside 50 for Powelltown. They're bringing the ball away here, Powley. They're going backwards a little bit to go forwards. Here is Taylor. He kicks the ball inside forward 50. There's no one there. It's going to be turned over, and the mark is taken there by, it looked like, Tate. He'll go to the outer side now. Deep outside on the outside now of commentary position, so right down the other end on this very wide ground here at Yarra Glen. Ball's tumbling around a little bit. No one can go into good possession there. There's a free kick paid for holding, and it'll go the way of Powelltown just a little bit to the outer side of the cricket pitch here, and it will go to... Well, it doesn't matter. It played on. It was Moody off to Ratton. Now the ball goes to the outer side in front of the Lilydale Instant Lawn sign. The mark has been taken. He'll go outer side once again inside the forward 50. Good mark on the lead there by
Dean Roy.
Dean Roy. Thank you very much. He'll go deep inside forward 50. They need a mark here. There's one out the back, and nearly brought it to ground. There was Folks. Couldn't do it. And the ball's gone out of bounds, deep in the pocket, about 5 metres out from the Powelltown goal.
Yeah, going to be a good contest to watch that one. Cameron Tate, a very accomplished backman, and has been doing it for a number of years for Yarra Glen, up against Mickey Folks.
We'll do it all again. The ball's tossed back in. No one won the ruck contest. The ball fell a bit short, and the umpire has actually paid a free kick and will be going the way of Yarra Glen. And to Cameron Tate, who handball straight away and will bring the ball out to the commentary side, which is fantastic. Getting to the first of the ball was Ashby. He handballed in ball. He'll get it back inside forward 50 now off a handball receive. He's tackled straight away. And everyone called for a ball, and they got hold of the ball. A fantastic tackle there to hold up there really, really well by the Yarra Glen defence. And now they'll set up from their half-back line. So down the line, order a contest. Getting the ball was Lord. He was tackled straight away, and the umpire will call for it.
Rusty tackled his teammate, Matty Lloyd there. That was Matty Lord. That was funny.
Gee whiz.
The flash of colour got him offside.
Ball back up again. Ratton won the tap down beautifully. And getting tackled straight away by 2 defenders there.
He just did enough to keep the tackle low enough there.
And we'll have a ball up once again just on the edge of the centre square here at Yarra Glen. Ratton won the tap again over his head. Picking it up was Cowan, and he's run out of bounds once again. Not as far as the first time, but...
no, he did try to keep going on that occasion once he was over the line.
Nevertheless, he took it out. Ball back into play now. No one really won the tap there. It was a Falcon, but getting away with the ball was Ashby. He'll kick inside the forward 50. Good fist there from the Yarra Glen defender. Running after the ball is Oxley. He got first to the ball. He's scrambling, trying to pick it up. He can't do so. And now Yarra Glen will come away with it and kick to the outer side of the centre square. Good mark there almost. No. Ball comes to ground there. That's hold the ball up higher. Yes, no. Throw will hold the ball. Advantage has been taken by Powelltown. They'll go deep inside forward 50 once again. They deserve a little bit of reward for effort. They've got a free kick. The free kick will be going to Michael Folks about, we'll say 35, 40 metres out. Yep. On a slightish angle kicking to the racecourse end. Unfortunately, there's no racing at Yarra Glen today because you might be able to hear Rick McIntosh's voice if there was. But Folks will have the kick. This will be good reward for effort early on for Powelltown. They've had multiple inside 50 entries here, and they deserve at least a score on the board here early on in the first quarter here in front of a pretty decent crowd starting to build at Yarra Glen. So Folks is on his approach now. Kick is on the way, and it's gone to the left. Through for behind.
He kicked it slightly, like a bit too hard.
Yeah, he tried to kick the absolute skin off it. So Powelltown are 1 behind, Yarra Glen are 1 straight.
We've been going about 8-9 minutes.
Thank you very much, Cam. As they come back in straight away, Yarra Glen. Mark has been taken here on the wing. They'll go down the outer side now. They'd love a mark. It's gone out the back. Picking up the ball was Mackenzie. He kicks to the outer side of the square once again. No one there to take the mark. It comes out the back. There's no one crumbing. The ball's just edged inside 50, but now POWELLTOWN will come away with it through Bayliss. He kicks to the outer side, and we've got a foot race here. Shepherd is after it, but he's also got a Yarra Glen defender on his tail, and it's gone out of bounds. One behind, plays one straight early on, first quarter, 8.5 gone.
Around the grounds, it's up by Tacoma now with a 1 point lead over Wandon. It's 8-7. That's it for the Premier that's updated so far.
Ball's been tossed back in meanwhile. Umpires paid holding the ball here, and it'll go to the way of Yarra Glen. Outer side in front of the old Lilydale Instant Lawn scoreboard by the looks of it. Player plays on straight away, kicks inside the forward 50. They need a mark, won't get it, comes to ground once again. That's well done. He dodges one, dodges two. Kick is on the way, drifted to the right and punched out of play for a throw in.
Not the worst result there for Yarra Glen. They do keep it into the forward line, but yeah, a little bit more accuracy there. Wasn't that far out. Could have actually got the major.
Close. It's in a very handy spot, as you say. Ball's about to be tossed back in. It's on its way now. Yarra Glen ruckman won the hit out that time. Ball comes out the back. Little quick kick to the top of the square. No one there. Mark has been taken by Johnson this time for POWELLTOWN. Go to the outer side once again. Beautifully done as well. Mark has been taken out there. Outer side. He'll play on straight away. Goes down the line. Defender there for Yarra Glen arrived in time, but McLaughlin picked up the ball. Got the handball inboard. Ball's been picked up by Mullen now. Handballs once again. A lot of handball going on here, and they've coughed it up. Yarra Glen will go down the outer side this time, edging towards their forward 50. These rainbow numbers are really throwing me about a little bit.
I think it's McCulloch, maybe.
Ball inside the forward 50 now. And no one there to take the mark, unfortunately, for Yarra Glen. The mark's been taken by Taylor. He'll bring it out to our commentary side and the social room side. Little one-on-one contest here. Did well to get rid of his man there was Halliday. He got the handball inboard. Oh, a bit of a fumbly one there. Here we go. There's Mackenzie once again for Yarra Glen. He's doing well. Kick came to Gardner. Gardner goes inside forward 50. Nearly a mark taken there. Nearly would have been paid. Little skew if kick comes off the boot there near the top of the square. Good defence there from Johnson to get the hand of the way to slap the ball away from what could have been a near Yarra Glen goal, and POWELLTOWN will bring it out to the outer side once again. Good running pick up by Shepherd. He gets the ball. He kicks inside the forward 50 and it'll tumble out of bounds for another throw in. We've gone nearly 11 minutes now. It's still 0-1 to 1 straight.
Actually out on the full. So a bit too much heat on there from Shepherd. Not used to the ground dimensions. The boundary line is in a fair way off the fence here, so the fence can't be a guide here at Yarra Glen. Yarra Glen on the half-back line. Just get a handball out, kicking wide now, finding Gardner on the wing. Gets a handball off. They're playing on quickly here, trying to get some movement, but POWELLTOWN do have the number back. That loose number's right in for this play. They get the spoil. Comes to ground. Not too bad here from Yarra Glen to get it into that position. Great tackling there. And it's going to be a reward for effort, as Russell Cowan had an arm pinned and could not get a disposal to it. So getting the resulting free kick. Can you pick up that number, Liam?
No, I can't at this stage, Cam. Sorry.
It might even be Morrison who got the early one. So puts it on its way. Right towards goal. It's just gone a bit left. And that's another score on the board for Yarra Glen there. 1-1-7. Leading at POWELLTOWN, one behind, and we'll be going 12 minutes in this first term.
Been a starting first quarter so far here at Yarra Glen. POWELLTOWN will bring it out to the outer side once again. They've locked using that corridor on the outer side and got a little bit of a run on. That was a beautiful run. Good kick down the line's been marked by Roy.
Just the boot.
Yeah,
nearly came off.
Nearly fell off. So Roy now be about 65-70 out from home. He'll bring the ball inboard. He's overcooked the kick and unfortunately it's been turned over and the mark has been taken there by the Yarra Glen defender. He's played on. He's got no one on for him. Nearly runs into a bit of trouble there but finds a target right on the outer side here. And he'll go inboard to the top of the 50, and that's going to go back the other way. Good mark taken there from Taylor.
Yeah, Josh Taylor's just playing loose man in defence. He was the one that got the spoil for.
Kicks the ball into the middle. Bayless got it on the arse volley. This time Halliday gets the handball received, kicks to the outer side.
He's had his head ripped off.
Tate's nearly had his head taken off by the cow and tackle, and he'll receive the free kick. Kicks inside to the centre square area where the mark has been taken by...
That was actually Kennedy.
Yeah, that was
Kennedy. With his first touch and getting his head ripped off by Rusty.
Welcome to Yarra Rangers football, son. So they're on the edge of the 50 now. They'll go inside once again, or they'll get a mark here, you'd think. Or nearly grabbed it, couldn't bring it down from the sky. Handball came from Anderson.
Close to out the full too.
And the ball's gone out of bounds.
Just off hands.
On the 40-metre line, as we say here at Yarra Glen, and we've just gone nearly 14 minutes here, first quarter.
Yeah, it's a pure circle, this ground.
Not an oval.
No, so boundary throw it. Yarra Glen's forward 50. Ratton in front, wins a tap down. There's too high free kick going to be paid here. It's going to go the way of Ratton.
Started well.
He has. Ratton looking towards Oxley on the wing. Good punch from behind. Well, Yarra Glen, it's taken out of bounds there by Mr. Liam Evans. We're going to see a boundary throw in centre wing. Around the grounds, Division 1, it's Mount Evelyn 32 over Belgrave 1. Emerald 12 over Seville 8. Gembrook Cockatoo 26 leading Hillsville 1. As there's a free kick in the ruck here, it's all going to go this way towards Yarra Glen. Monbulk 28 over Berwick Springs 12. And it's going to Daniel Gelthbraith. He kicks it up towards centre half forward. It's come off hands. They need a rover, but they didn't get it. Garthwaite came in with a good shepherd for Powelltown, and they're able to get it out to the outer wing. Leading of the race for the ball is Mullen. Mullen gets it over the top there to Shepherd. Shepherd looking for his options and leaning forwards. He's got one moving back in Folkes. He gets the sit. It's punched away, though, by Yarra Glen, and it's in the outer forward pocket, over the line and out of bounds. Lamb.
So as once again deep in the forward pocket for Powelltown here. They'd like a goal just to tie it up about halfway through the first quarter here. Nice little crowd starting to build here at Yarra Glen as well on a pretty cloudy afternoon here. So the ball's tossed back in. Taking the ball out of the ruck was Folkes. He's got a quick kick towards goal, but it's going to be marked right on the
goal line by Tate. Yep.
He handballs straight away. Ball's going to come out to our commentary side by looks of it, but no, it's come inboard. The mark's been taken by Horsley. He's played on. He's taken his full stretch of 15 there, and he kicks to the outer side looking for a lead. He gets it on to his play on the half volley, but recovering there was Halliday. He'll kick out to the outer side of the band in the long sleeves. I love a long sleeve. Good on him. As Yarra Glen come away with the ball once again. He's got to be careful. Ooh, he just got the handball away in time once again. Horsley's got the ball. Kicks out aside. And the ball's on the edge of the 50 now almost. Yarra Glen looking dangerous here. And yep, they've got a target inside forward 50. That's good work. And we'll have a set shot on goal here. And it looks like Billy Gardner from a distance.
No.
Looked like number 5 from a distance.
Yeah, I reckon the 5 and the 3 is looking very similar to us from this far out. I reckon it's Morrison.
Right, so we'll go with Callum Morrison then, deep in the pocket. Kick is on the way, and it's drifted to the
Across
right.
The face,
actually,
stayed
in. And there's a big scrap for the ball, and I don't think anyone's going to come out with it. You would think the umpire's going to ball it up, except
it's still moving around
in there. He's letting them play. We don't mind that.
And now
the ball rushed through behind, so it's 1-2-8, Yarra Glen leading Powelltown, 1 behind, and we've been going 17 minutes first quarter on the AFL Yarra Rangers, or Outer East match of the day.
A long kick in from Powelltown all the way to the wing here. Oh, one-handed mark. Is he going to be paid? No, he's not. Paid the push out. It's going to be Cameron Tate's ball. So he's got a player at centre half forward he finds there. That is Gardner. So Billy Gardner chips it inboard, and nice little lead and mark there by Yarra Glen. That's much better movement. Caught Powelltown off guard there. As, Russell McCrimmon had a great effort at taking that one-hander, but unfortunately infringed. So coming now, kick on the way from the 40. That's through. Have you got that down as Benny Ashton?
I've got that as Ben Ashton. That's a beautiful kick. That
there's no 6, so it looks like the 9 to me. And Benny Ashton is on the board. Our first captain's goal of the afternoon, Liam.
Pretty handy goal as well. It looked like it was going to fade late as well, but snuck through there for Yarra Glen second on this Pride Cup afternoon here at Yarra Glen.
And they had 2-2-14, leading POWELLTOwn 1 behind when we're going 18 minutes. The other games in Division 2, we've got scores out at the moment are Kinglake 20, leading Alexandra 14, and Warburton Millgrove off to a good start after they were inaccurate. They're 48, now leading Broadford to 6.
Danger signs early on there for Broadford, you would think, as the ball's been balled up, and will be quickly once again recalled by the
favourite
umpire.
Secondary ball up.
Yes, they'll start paying free kicks if
We've got to get another one of these, and then there's a free kick.
Tap out was won by Ratton, but it's a very congested ball here. The ball's gone about 5 metres if you're lucky, and we'll have another ball up. Pretty much in the same position once again. Dead centre. Ball is up. Ratton's won the hit out again, but this time to favour the Yarra Glen midfielder. And it was Horsley got the kick inside the forward 50. Nearly a mark there taken. Can't really get the ball out, and there's a quick kick around the body. Yes! Another goal. 2 in a minute. And that's very, very handy for Yarra Glen. They go out to 3-2-20. Leading POWELLTOwn 1 behind, and we're nearly ticking into time on first quarter here at Yarra Glen.
Now, is this a 0-0? Because we haven't got a 0-0. It could be Capuano, because he is in the 0 today. Liam. And he's just on the half-forward line there, and he's not going to turn around for me, just to be annoying.
It's always frustrating when you're trying to get your stats right. But
nevertheless, we don't want to give the goals to the wrong people, but I think we'll have to give rainbow colours a miss. Well, rainbow numbers at least.
Yes.
A miss for next year. It's impossible to see them.
A little bit tricky to pick out. But nevertheless, it is 3-2 to 1 behind.
Lucky Leo's not here. Can you imagine?
Oh, he'd be going crook, wouldn't he?
He'd be going bananas.
Ball back in the middle. Ratton won the hit out once again, this time to open space. It's going Yarra Glen's way once again. They'll get another centre clearance and go inside forward 50. There's no one out the back. They need someone crumbing, and there might be someone there. But nevertheless, the ball beats that player to the boundary. We'll have a throw in deep in the forward pocket once again for Yarra Glen. They're looking threatening as we've gone 20 and a half minutes in the first quarter.
They are. POWELLTOwn's just not winning the ball out of the centre clearances. They've got a bit of dominance in the ruck so far, but they're not making the most of it. A lot of their players are standing still. Need to get it to an open space and just run through.
Ball's tossed back in once again, and once again it'll be called out of bounds. Once again, we'll have another throw in.
I love some of the colours of the trees in autumn too, Liam. All very nice in some of our
particularly
grounds.
the ones that's right in front of this ball that's just been thrown.
Yes,
autumn
that's what brought it
leaves
to my attention.
everywhere. Kick came around the body from Telford. Now it came to the top of the square.
Garthwaite.
Beautiful mark there by Jack Garthwaite there, just at the just outside the edge of the centre square there. He'll kick to the broadcast side, which is appreciated. Ball comes out the back. Looks like the POWELLTOwn boys will be first to the ball, but that won't be the case this time. A little bit of a fumble there and a good bump off the ball. Got rid of McCulloch, and he'll get it this time once again. Handball's inboard, a good little handball as well. Ball comes out to Shilly now, and he'll go just to the edge of the centre square, and no one can really gain control of the ball, but except there'll be a free kick paid, and it'll be going to the way of Yarra Glen. As I go inside the forward 50 once again. Mark out the back, no, almost came to the hands of Oxley, but he couldn't control the ball as it comes to ground. There was Ratton once again to get the clearing handball, and they'll come right in front of us again, broadcast side. Cowan couldn't mark, good fist there, impeded him. A little bit of a good play there from Yarra Glen to hold him up for a second as the ball goes right down. He's paid the mark.
He did.
The umpire's paid.
Now he's gone.
The umpire, he went to pay the mark, and now he's called for the throw in.
It was one that you would believe the player was just going to take. It was in his hands, and he just decided to throw it out, pretty much.
22 and a half.
Mr. Roy.
22 and a half minutes gone as the ball's tossed back in. Ratton won the tap once again. He's been very good so far this quarter in the ruck, but Yarra Glen will clear the ball through Tate and Gardner. The ball goes down the line, and that's a high tackle umpire. Yep, so we've got the 0-0. That'll be Capuano that'll get the free kick. So he's right in front of us here, and in front of the interchange gates, Capuano with a 0-0 on. He's looking to go down the line, and he'll do that. Oh, gee, it's a
chip kick.
It's a very good chip kick. Very lucky to have gone the 15. The mark's been taken by Smith. He's been called to play on now. He went off his line. Oh, goodness gracious me. Another
chip
little chip kick.
Not 15 that
this
time.
It's gone out of bounds. We'll have a throw in right in front of the people here at Yarra Glen.
Yeah, good crowd in today for this Pride Cup edition. The boundary throw in. Ratton with strength, gets a good fist on that one, but it's Yarra Glen first to the ball. Horsley started really well this quarter for Yarra Glen, gets the ball up to the half-forward line in front of the leading McCulloch, but it's bumbled over the line and out of bounds. That's their Yarra Glen's attacking side now, going to the Gembrook end, Liam.
Indeed.
As opposed to the racecourse end here at Yarra Glen, so it's to the right of your dial. Fist out in front. Bayliss couldn't quite get a clean handball out. Ratton in again. Goes after it. Off to Rusty, and he's done now. Following the ball. Just took that fraction a second too long.
It's a magnificent tackle.
Teammate comes in, and advantage is paid here as Sammy Wood runs away with the ball, but he kicks it directly to Benny Ratton, who's now going to kick it back back to Rusty, who comes in, and that's a bit high.
Good mark taken there this time by Smith. He got a little bit of a late contact to the head there, and he's up and ready to take his kick. He's looking for someone to come at him. He plays on now and kicks inside the forward 50.
That's better from Yarra Glen.
Magnificent mark taken there overhead by Morrison, and he'll go back and have a shot.
He's been very lively, Morrison. We would have called him earlier if we had figured out it was him. The number's very hard to read, but he's got the number 3 on this afternoon. It's Callum Morrison. He's kicked 1-1, had another one that didn't quite get there.
So Callum Morrison now will come in, looking for his second goal. Kick is on the way now. It looks pretty good off the boot.
Yeah, yep. That's nice.
Straight through the middle, and Yarra Glen have kicked their fourth. They're 4-2-26, leading POWELLTOWN 1 behind, and we've just ticked over 25 minutes here in the first quarter. The AFL Outer East match of the day on Yarra Valley FM.
Yeah, around the grounds as well. It's still Kinglake over Alexandra and Warburton Millgrove over Broadford. In Division 1, it's Mount Evelyn at 10-2-62, leading Belgrave 2 behinds. Emerald are 5-1-31, leading Seville 2-3-15. Gembrook Cockatoo are 5-3-33, leading Hillsville 1 behind, and Monbulk are 6-4-40, leading Berwick Springs very accurate 3 goals straight 18.
Very comprehensive look there at the scores around the grounds early on. Thank you, Cam, as the ball's back in the middle. Ratton won the tap once again. Ball's bobbling around the middle for a little bit here. No one can get a clear possession. That'll be a free kick to Cowan. He was pushed in the back and impeded to go for the ball.
A little bit of a wrestle.
He's got a little bit of a wrestle here.
What's happening?
A little bit of
the ball's not there.
They're still going here as Cowan gets the ball now. You would think he'll take the play. Yeah, he'll play on as there's a bit of a scuffle between 8 and 10 players taking place. He got there on the half volley was Folks. Handballed inboard, but Yarra Glen will come away with it once again as the fracas still goes on in the middle. He goes to the outer side, and we got a free kick to Yarra Glen. We'll go to Capuano once again. So Capuano on the wing. You go inside forward 50. It's a one-on-one, but there's a good player out the back here for POWELLTOWN, and that was Oxley, and he's tackled with the ball. Ball comes out, it bobbling towards the boundary, and now it'll go out as the scuffle has ended in the centre square of the ground, and we'll have a throw in, deep in attack for Yarra Glen as we just tick on to 27 minutes, Cam.
That's right. So Yarra Glen's got the ascendancy here. POWELLTOWN trying to get back into this game, but just not able to get it from their half-back line to half-forward effectively at the moment. Yarra Glen have got all the answers, and they're going to win it and put it back in through Capuano again, deep into their forward line. Oxley's the only one there for POWELLTOWN. It's punched away from him. Rove nicely, kick around the corner, just could not quite sneak through. I've got the man, but missed the number. 2-1. Why not? Give it to Nick McKenzie that point. So it's 4-3-27 to Yarra Glen at 1 behind to POWELLTOWN. 28 minutes gone.
Taylor took the play on. He ran to it at the 50 with no pressure at all, but the clearing kick comes out, and there was a fist away there this time from Tate, and the ball goes out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in, out a wing, and we've just ticked into 28 minutes gone.
Around the grounds in Premier Division, it's up by Tacoma 15, Wandon 26, and Pakenham at 2 straight goals, 12 leading Narre Warren at 139.
Ball's back in now. Tapped out once again, run by Ratton. He's been very good early on in the ruck, winning the supremacy for POWELLTOWN. And the ball's going to be called for by the umpire. We'll have a ball up on the outer side once again, where a lot of the players been so far this quarter. Ball back in the air now. Both ruckmen really got the tap there, and the umpire's found a free kick this time.
Just struggling for height there over Ratton. Jumped over his back and over his shoulder.
Thumping kick goes down the line, and the mark has been taken by MacArthur now. He's about 55, 60 metres out, if that. He'll go inside forward 50. They need a mark here. POWELLTOWN, they won't get it. It was a good fist away. Ball comes to ground, but they'll get a clearing kick once again. That was Capuano once again. But it looks like it'll be coming straight back into the hands of POWELLTOWN. The mark has been taken by Shepherd. So Shepherd now, he'll look to go inside 50 once again. You'd think there's not a lot of movement forward for POWELLTOWN, but he'll just chip it down the line. A little bit of a falcon there. Mullen got the ball. He handballs back to Shepherd. Now he'll load it inside 450, and they almost got a mark.
Hang on to it, Rusty.
Cowan dropped the mark, but the ball's actually inside 50, and there is the siren for quarter time. We went 29 and a bit minutes there to reach quarter time, and it's a 4-3-27 to 1 behind after a quarter of play, Cameron.
Yes, indeed, and a really good one for Yarra Glen there. We're going to go back to the studios of Yarra Valley FM for our quarter-time break. We'll be back with the second quarter and the rest of the game following that. Thank you, David. As we'll switch over to Division 1, and we'll get those shortly because we're about to get underway in this second term. Ratton is in the ruck against Lockie Stevenson from Yarra Glen. No clear winners, but it's Yarra Glen with another clearance into their forward line. Garthwaite underneath that one. He couldn't hang on to it. Should have done better in that occasion. Was under no pressure. It's a good defensive pressure here from Yarra Glen is keeping in there. POWELLTOWN do have the numbers, and they're going to get a ball up out of that forward entry, Liam. So can still look dangerous at the start of this quarter.
Yes, indeed. Ball will be balled up just inside the forward 50 here. I think Ratton won that hit out from behind of his opponent there, but the ball comes away a little bit from the Yarra Glen end of the ground. It comes back just to the edge of the centre square, and they'll come away once again, Yarra Glen. They'll bring it down the outer side. They've got possession of the footy now. They've got the clean handball, but it's going to get it rather congested here, but they still keep finding a way of getting it out the back and kicking it inboard. Got there on the half of the legs. Binion. He couldn't get there. Good bump on the ball there to affect the disposal there of Ashby.
Yeah, great defensive tackle.
We've got a free kick going Yarra Glen's way, and it's been taken by Kennedy.
They're ringing.
Your man from Carlton and Lilydale. bit of a difference, obviously, coming back to Yarra Glen, but he's got the free kick now inside the centre square, and he'll look to take it deep inside the forward 50, and he does so. That's a beautiful kick, but nearly get the mark there. Was the Yarra Glen player, but it came to ground, a sandwich of 3. POWELLTOWN will try and bring the ball away now, and they do. They go down that outer side, and they find a mark in Johnson now. He handballs straight away, and they'll bring it down that outer side once again to good one-on-ones. That ball just had a little bit too much on it, and now Yarra Glen will come away with it. Handball inboard was to no one in particular, and it's bobbling around out the back now. It's a good possession gain, or I should say metres gain for POWELLTOWN, and the ball's going to be locked up there, and they'll have a ball up.
Mr. Kennedy with a hard ball get.
Yes, exactly right. He got the free kick and a good inside 50.
No, just then he got the hard ball get and then got tackled straight away. So on the half forward line for Powley, tap over the back, they get a kick off the ground towards the half forward line. But Yarra Glen again, defence is holding up really well here. We've got some offensive pressure though by POWELLTOWN on this occasion, and they're rewarded for that tackle. Would have been a little bit hot, but away it goes. Powley get the forward 50 entry. It's a 1-on-3. Doing okay there is folks to keep it in. Puts the arms around Tate to get the tackle, and Roy comes in to help him, and they're actually going to keep it in their forward line. They did all right there, Powley, to keep that in.
Yeah, they certainly did, and they deserve a goal or at least a score of something for effort here as we've gone. We've just started the time actually, so we're probably.
Leo's not here, Liam. You got to remind us.
We've probably gone 3 minutes as a rough estimate. We'd have to ask the timekeepers next door as the ball's gone back in the air, and they'll bring it outside their 450, but they'll bring it back in. Kick is on the way, and it's just gone to the left-hand side through from behind there, and now POWELLTOWN 2 behinds, trailing Yarra Glen 5-3-33. We won't give you an accurate time because it's not accurate. I reckon we've got about 4 minutes in the second quarter.
Matthew MacArthur with that flying shot at goal for a point.
Good fist there, impeded Binion from taking the mark. The ball comes to ground. It's lurking around the back. Handball came from Bayliss inboard. Oh, you've taken on the tackler there. No, Lucky got the free kick there, was Mullen. He'll bring it down to the edge of the inside 50. There's a good mark taken there by your man Cowan. He'll take the ball inside forward 50. He plays on now. The kick is on the way inside the forward 50 to a genuine one-on-one out the back. No. Bayless couldn't
hang on to it.
No, he could not. So Yarra Glen will come away with it once again. They'll go down the outer side wing of sorts, and the mark there has been taken by Stevenson, I'm going to say. It looked like him.
Hold on to it or get over this line. Powley got the numbers back.
Oh, a bit of a skew-if kick off the boot there. It came off the side and it's going to trickle towards the boundary, but they did well there. They've gained a couple of more metres before the ball goes out of bounds. Right in front of us here at Yarra Glen early on second quarter.
So boundary throwing's going to take place. While we're doing that, it's nothing really changed from last time we went through the scores for Div1. So it's been knocked down in front. Benny Ashton gets the kick around the corner towards the half forward, and Adam Oxley standing his ground. He's playing a much better game this game than he did in round 1 against Warby. Had about 10 more possessions already than he did in that one. He's got the ball up to the middle. It's not a bad kick too to Mullen, but he couldn't get it onwards to his teammate as he would have liked. And Bayliss is in there as well. Now Mullen. Bayliss tackling again. Handball out the back. Yarra Glen just a little bit more composed with it. Quick kick around the corner. Up to the wing where Ratton's in the way. He throws it on the boot because he's got a one-on-one deep forward with Tate and Folkes. And Michael Folkes is going to get the free kick once again. That's twice in marking contests he's able to get that result. See if he can actually put a major on the board with this effort.
So Folkes is deep in the pocket here, but only about 25 out from where he'll kick it. So he's on his way now. Oh, gee whiz! He's
sprayed it hugely to the right.
He's nearly kicked it into the tree that hard. I'm surprised he didn't stay stuck in there.
He was going for the river.
Trying to kick it out of the Melbourne Highway there. And he's kicked his second behind of the afternoon. POWELLTOWN are now 3 behinds, trailing Yarra Glen 5-3-33. And we're into the second quarter on the AFL Outer East match of the day, thanks to Yarra Valley FM.
POWELLTOWN still goalless. I would have paid that mark in front to Kennedy. It's fall into the hands of Rusty though. He's thrown it on the boot, but Yarra Glen have got the nice set up in defence there. Playing on from defence now, running through to the middle. Got a player leading out in the wing. The ball's just bounced on end out of their way. Billy Gardner picks it up. Handball's back. He's going to get the 1-2 here, but in there to try and chop it off is Nathan Moody. And Moody's going to get a free kick for in the back.
Just for POWELLTOWN as well, James Ashby has just come from the ground after a little bit of a
and there's a
head knock
player
here.
hobbling here with, I'll let you keep an eye on him with a bit of cramp or a hamstring problem.
It's Marcus Kikidopoulos.
There's 2 whistles going on here.
He's come to the ground. He's hobbling badly as young Marcus.
And there's been a reversal of free kick here off the ball. And it's going to go the way of Yarra Glen.
Be taken by Smith, I think.
Yep, so Smith plays on. Oh, no. Errant handball. And picking that up and putting it forward is Shepherd, but there was absolutely no one in POWELLTOWN's forward line, but he's got a resultant boundary throw in, so see if they can reset from here.
As we said in the first quarter, it's not the worst place for the ball to go out of bounds here. And we'll have a throw in. POWELLTOWN are starting to look a little bit more threatening with the ball going into their forward line.
Well, they've got to try and get something going here.
Absolutely,
Still
they
goalless
do.
into the second term.
And we'll have another ball up here.
Tackle by Shepherd.
Good tackle there, exactly right by Shepherd. Gave his opponent no hope of getting rid of the footy.
POWELLTOWN are getting plenty of the ball, but it's all along the defensive back half of their centre line.
Sure is.
Out of the ruck.
Oh, gee, risky to take it out of the ruck.
Cowan around the corner.
Oh, gee. They're starting to waste a few opportunities here.
Left foot snap by Cowan would have been fortuitous if he had got that one, but he moves Powelltowners on to 4 behinds, trailing Yarra Glen, who are yet to score in this quarter, 5-3-33, and we'll be going 8 minutes. Playing on from the goal square is Yarra Glen. They kick it all the way up to the middle, and there's a free kick going to be paid here to Powelltown. Infringement in that marking contest to Oxley. Handball's off to Taylor. Taylor looking for Shepherd over his head. And Yarra Glen are able to clear to the outer side, but Powelltown do have the numbers here. They've just got to work it together. That's not too bad. They've got to get it back on. Good defensive play here by Yarra Glen and a good tackling effort. That should be holding the ball, and it is. You can't put it on the ground and punch it out there, Liam.
No, you can't. It was a great tackle there.
Lockie Telford is rewarded.
Has to be said as well.
Recently wed.
Good
Lockie Telford.
Obviously, no need.
Very emotional day.
No need for a honeymoon, is there?
I've no time for that in footy season. You've got to compromise, mate.
Absolutely. Ball goes down the line right in front of us. Couldn't bring the ball down with Eckers. He should have been paid the mark almost. Clearing handball came from Chamberlain. But Powelltown have the numbers back of the ball, and they'll send it back down towards their forward line, but it'll come straight back. Mark has been taken
Telford
here
again.
this time by Telford. He's got it on the Yarra Rangers Council logo. He'll kick it down the line. It could come straight back. You never know. This time the ball comes out the back.
Turn that off.
Fills. And Ratton couldn't control the ball to keep it in for Powelltown. It goes out of bounds as the speakers right in front of us are still playing up.
Too much instant feedback.
Ball back in. Ratton won the hit out, slaps it over his head. Quick kick off the ground came from Mullen to no real effect. Gardner for Yarra Glen gets the clearing handball, but fumbling at a pretty important time when the ball could have gone forward there. But it seems to be okay. Great run-down tackle there from Gardner. Gave McLaughlin no hope of getting rid of the footy as the ball's still bobbling around, but Powelltown get a clearing kick inside. 450! Oh, jeez! I nearly had the crowning moment. Roy went out and nearly took the mark, and the ball's been rushed through from behind. And Powelltown now go to 5 behinds, 4 behinds this quarter. Yarra Glen remains scoreless in this quarter. And it's 5 behinds to 5-3-33, and we've gone about 10 and a half, nearly 11 minutes into the second quarter.
And that was Ryan Anderson with that roving effort, and the ball's come out to the other side from the kick in. There's a free kick paid here, and it's going to go to Yarra Glen against Mr. Oxley. So they're a big stagnant here. Powelltown do have the number back. Joshy Taylor's playing that loose man in defence. Kick coming over the back. They go towards the centre of the ground. Good tackling pressure here again. Now with the handball is Moody. He didn't quite get it accurate, did he? No, he didn't. And it's going to be a free kick here to Yarra Glen. Only about 55 out. Directly in front. Chip kick to a leading player. Just inside 40 has been marked. And Billy Gardner should have a shot on goal here, Liam.
Oh, I think he will. It'll be a good chance against the flow here because Powelltown have been looking really threatening so far into this second quarter without really putting any scoreboard pressure on them. Just the 4 behind so far. And this will really sort of just stop their little momentum shift as now Gardner's on his approach. He'll kick it from right on the 40. Kicker's on the way. It's a beautiful kick, I'll tell you what.
He has done well.
He's kicked his first. He's on the board. Yarra Glen are now out to 6-3-39, leading Powelltown just the 5 behinds, and we've gone 12 minutes into the second quarter on the AFL Outer East Match of the Day.
And just checking around the grounds, Mount Evelyn are out to 85 over Belgrave 3. Emerald are 6-3-39, leading Seville 2-4-16. Hillsville still on 1 solitary behind. Gembrook Cockatoo are 7-7-49. Monbulk 8-5-53, leading Berwick Springs 3 straight goals 18.
Ball's back in the middle now. Thank you very much for those scoring updates. We'll keep an eye at those for everyone this later on in the afternoon. Ball still bobbling around the middle, but Yarra Glen will get the clearing kick now inside forward 50. Oxley went up with the long sleeves, couldn't bring the ball down to ground. It's still bobbling around. Got a little clearing soccer kick away was Taylor.
If ever there was a deliberate.
That would have been the one. You would have had thousands of people on their feet cheering for it if it was the MCG or Marvel Stadium, but no, you won't get it out here at Yarra Glen. The ball's gone out of bounds just inside the forward 50 here, down to the racecourse end to the left-hand side of your radio dial or the left-hand side of your screen. So the ball's back in now. Once again, good fist by Ratton.
That would be out on the full.
And
it would be out on the full.
Out in the full, but it's just
it is out on the full. You punch it from a ruck throw in straight out in the full. It's out in the full.
It is out in the full, but
maybe you couldn't see which ruck because both fists were rather close to each other.
Yes, no, not this situation. It's going to be a throw in either way. Ratton has won it once again, to no surprise, and that's a free kick umpire any day of the week. It's actually going
to Yarra Glen.
Yarra Glen, and they'll have another shot on goal, and this is to extend the lead once again, and this time
I think it's McCulloch again.
It's McCulloch. I think it was a single number, to be honest, Kev.
Yeah.
We're going to say it for the third time.
Morrison, sorry.
Yeah, Morrison.
That's what I was
going to
thinking
say
of.
number 3. So Morrison will go back for his third. He'll kick it from about, I'm going to say about 30 on the right-hand side of the forward line. Kick is on the way. I'll tell you what, he's got his third. Yarra Glen have kicked away once again. They're now 7-3-45. And they're leading POWELLTOWN 5 behinds, and we've gone 14 minutes into the second quarter here. And Cam, I think it's starting to get to a little bit of a danger time here for POWELLTOWN.
It is indeed. They've taken this form from the first half of last week against King Lake, Yarra Glen, and just continued to run with it. They ran out. We were told they ran out of legs on that occasion, but a little bit of different opponent this time in POWELLTOWN than King Lake. So I'll have to see how this eventuates. A good game in Premier Division down at Upway. It's 1 goal the difference there. Beaconsfield easy leaders over POWELLTOWN. And just a 1 point game up at Alindo against there behind trailing Warrialic. The ball has got to the half forward line for POWELLTOWN, and Bayliss chip kick there on his left foot, couldn't hit his teammate. The kick around the corner has gone out of bounds from the defensive kick from Yarra Glen, and taking the resulting free kick. Is that a number 10?
No, it's Johnson. No? I've got 18 there.
Oh, 18. Yep, cool. No worries. Reece Johnson finds his teammate inboard in McLaughlin. He looks deep into the pocket. Oh, good body work there by Roy, and butters up nicely. We couldn't get a clean handball away. That is a great defensive forward pressuring act there by Mr. Gary Shepherd. And he is going to get reward for effort here, Lamb, and have a shot for goal about 45-degree angle, only about 30 metres out. If that, when he kicks.
The magnificent run-down tackle there, and reward for effort, as you said. And once again, this just has to go through, you'd think, just to keep in touch with Yarra Glen at this stage of the game. The 16 minutes gone in the second. So Shepherd now, be about 25-30 out, slide angle, 45 degrees. And he's missed it.
Oh, he's put it to the right. They've got a goal on the board, though, Liam. 6 behinds.
Yes. Gosh, you nearly threw me there for a second. Yes, 6 behinds. POWELLTOWN, they're trailing Yarra Glen 7-3-45, and we've gone 16.5 into the second quarter.
So playing on from defence. Big left foot kick out towards the logos here, over the head of Rusty. That's not hard to do. And trying to pick it up from the ground is Ratton. Something's wrong with both of those pitches. Oh, and Dunford holding the ball. He's fallen on top of it and he didn't get it out. So resulting free kick to Smith from Yarra Glen on their half back line. Looking up forward now, telling somebody to run at him. So he just pops a nice little hospital ball up there. And, big effort. That was his own teammate coming through there, knocking over Telford. And Garthwaite and Capuano came through. Telford was going the other way. We're going to get a ball up. Half forward line. Going to the left of screen. Ratton, a little nudge and then grabs it out of the ruck. Kicks just threw it on his boot though. Didn't hit a teammate, but Johnson's got the resulting crumb and kicked it out towards Shepherd. Shepherd's looking inboard. He's got somebody running back towards goal here in MacArthur. MacArthur over the back couldn't quite hang on to it. The ball has stayed in play. Some players thought it had gone through for a behind. And taking the mark now is Richard Wiles for Yarra Glen on the half back line.
So Wiles now, he plays on, gets around one, he'll kick it down the line a little bit. It's just come off. That kick nearly dropped short of Chamberlain, but he still takes the mark. He'll go inboard now. It's a scrubby kick. It's got there on the bounce. No one can really get it. That's usually contact below the knees. I don't think they play that rule in this league. But we'll have a ball up, edge of the centre square. And we've just ticked over to 18 minutes gone here in the second quarter. And it's a 39-point margin to Yarra Glen.
Much more entertaining than the scoring suggests, though.
Absolutely. It's been actually very, very good to watch. Ball comes out the back here to Gardner. He got the handball away to Horsley. He'll kick it right down to the outer side here. Inside forward 50. They're going to get an easy entry here. Handball goes inboard. It's a bit of an interesting handball.
Oh, it's missed the target.
It missed the target, as you said, Cam. They are scrambling. Kicks on the boot. And it's another one.
He's got it.
It's another goal to Yarra Glen. And they've gone to 8-3-51. And the POWELLTOWN's 6 behinds. It's a 45-point margin as we're about to tick onto the 19-minute mark here in the second quarter. I didn't see who kicked that, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, I've got him. I just can't get his number.
But, gee, it's starting to get a little bit worrisome here if you're a POWELLTOWN supporter.
21, Mackenzie.
All right, Nicholas Mackenzie's got his first of the afternoon, and Yarra Glen's 8th.
So
Ball's back in the middle.
Yeah, Ratton's dominant in the ruck again.
Yeah,
and he's found a teammate on that occasion, but solitary, not moving.
He's been very, very good, Ratton. Ball up once again. No one really won that one. It sort of got tapped by both of the players, but we've got a free kick going to the way of your man Cowan. He'll drive the ball long. Inside forward 50. Leading was MacArthur. It's gone past him. He's in a foot race with the ball and a Yarra Glen defender, and it's gone to the boundary for a throw in. And about to tick into time on here in the second quarter. Match of the day. Thanks to AFL Outer East.
A boundary throw in. Outer side, right on the 40-metre line. Ball's punched down to the front. Yarra Glen gets some clean hands here. It's in the hands of Tate now. He couldn't... he needed to get a boot on that, probably clear it a bit further. Shepherd, one standing start, is bouncing through, Liam. It has, from 40 metres. Gary Shepherd, that's one of the goals of the afternoon.
It's a very good goal, that, and good. That's really, really good on the boundary line by the full forward there of POWELLTOWN, just to keep his defender out of touching the ball or getting even further back on the line to touch that through. And gee, they needed that goal there, 1-6-12 to it's 8-3-51.
Well, they've been peppering this whole quarter. They've had the 6 scoring shots to 3, but unfortunately kicked majority all points, whereas Yarra Glen have been able to put on 2 goals. 3 goals.
Ball's about to be balled up in the middle. It is now, just under a little bit more cloud cover here at Yarra Glen. Good tackle there of it. Kept the POWELLTOWN player from getting the kick away. Cowan's been crunched into once again. And it's on. Oh, by gee, it's on. Scuffle is turning. It's actually quite a nasty scuffle.
Nah.
It's almost I'll tell you what, there's probably at least half of the players all just on top of each other having a little push and a shove and a scuffle and pulling of jumpers here.
Just saying how do you do.
Exactly right. The
ball's back up in the air.
There. The ball, he's thrown it up.
The other half that just want to play are now playing.
Right. Good tackle there on Kennedy. Your man was crunched to the ground there. As players are still remonstrating in sorts, the ball will be called for a ball up once again on the centre square. And about 21 and a half, nearly 22 gone second quarter.
So ball's thrown up again. Still just outside of the centre square. Not directly on the wing. You're going to see another ball up. Ball's been around this area a bit too long, Liam. Yeah, it's probably going to be a free kick.
Yeah, exactly right. They'll pin out a free kick here.
So good tap down there. Oh, beautiful clearance there by Yarra Glen. Get it at deep into their forward line. Powley have some numbers. That's a good defensive tackle to get him out of bounds, even if he doesn't get the free kick for it. Well done there. And it's going to... That was our goal kicker in Morrison. And it's going to be a boundary throw in, 40 metres out from Yarra Glen's goal. Going to the racecourse end in this second term. Ball's tapped down to the middle. Kick around the corner goes Joshy Taylor. Back up to the wing. The ball bounces awkwardly and Cowan just runs onto it. Taps it to himself. Gets to the edge of the square. Kicks to the pocket towards Shepherd. Shepherd puts it behind him. Gets a handball over the top, but he's smothered nicely. Otherwise, Dean Roy could have run into an open goal there. And it's going to be a boundary throwing. That was a nice quick transition bit of play there, Liam.
It was good footy indeed. I reckon he could have wound up there, Cow, and have a shot on goal, but did the team thing and went to his teammate. But we've said it a couple of times today. Once again, it's in a very dangerous spot. So Ball's tossed back in. No real ruckman won the hit out there, but a little clearing kick came out, but it's come straight back to Powelltown. A quick clearing
right foot.
kick. It's going to be, it wasn't have been 15 anyway, but it's been rushed through for a behind. And now Powelltown are 1-7-13, trailing Yarra Glen 8-3-51. We've gone 23 and a half in the second quarter, and they've kicked the ball out straight away, and the mark has been taken by Smith. Smith on his defensive 50 looks to go inboard, but he will come down the line as he's called to go now. He plays on. Little mongrel torpedo punt of sorts has been marked by...
And Moody left him alone. Capuano took it.
Kikodopoulos, I think it was. And he kicks inboard and finds Telford. Now Telford plays on. Handballs to the middle. His man will launch the ball inside forward 50 to a genuine one-on-one, and a good mark in front. That's a magnificent mark. He got a little bit of a high contact arm around the top half of his head there as he brought it down. But nevertheless, a fantastic mark on the attacking 50, and he'll go back and have a shot for Yarra Glen's 9th and their fourth of the quarter, counting 6, 7 and 8.
Yep. And it's Morrison again, I believe.
Thank you very much. So Callum Morrison, he's going for his 4th of the afternoon. He'll kick from about 45. Slide angle, racecourse end. Kick is on the way. That one's drifted. That's drifted well across to the left and through for behind. Yarra Glen now 8-4-52, leading Powelltown 1-7-13. 24 minutes gone. Second quarter, and the ball's back into play now. Mark has been taken on defensive 50 for Powelltown. They'll go inboard, and the mark's been taken by McLaughlin. He'll bring it out to this side, which is appreciated, and the mark's going to be taken on defensive 50 by Garthwaite. He plays on, kick straight away. That's a beautiful kick, and the mark's been taken by McCrimmon. He'll keep it moving. He'll kick down the line. That's a pretty good kick too, and it comes off. The mark's been taken by MacArthur. MacArthur now with a few running by. He looks to go down the line inside the forward. Oh, gee, he sprayed that right across, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will go to Yarra Glen in front of the Powelltown coaches box.
Thought his players were leading at him. They were just coming into the
right.
interchange area off the bench.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a bug.
It's like there's blowing an absolute gale just towards the boundary.
Oh, the umpire's gone!
It's just the boundary's fallen over. He tripped over his own feet. But Halliday gets it deep in towards the forward 50 again as the siren goes. To end the first half here at Yarra Glen in Pride Cup number 8. The score at half time is Yarra Glen 8-4-52, leading Powelltown 1-7-13. We'll go back to the studios of Yarra Valley FM for our half time break. We'll come back and wrap up the first half, get ready for the second, and give you some scores from around the ground after that. Thank you, David. Everybody's just getting set here now for the second quarter, and yes, we're going to be right on the mark with this timer. Here we go. Press it now, Liam.
When the ball goes up, that's when you go.
No, here we go. We're all right. We're away. Benny Ratton wins that down to Rusty Cowan, who puts the ball out in front of himself and gets a bump and has not moved at all. He's slightly getting up now, but Yarra Glen get the ball forward. Out of that, they got to the half-forward line. Both players going in there, and the ball has been knocked forward out of bounds. Cowan's just got up now and starting to walk away, so he seems to be all right.
Obviously haven't done timekeeping long enough to realise that you're supposed to press the button straight away when the umpire holds a ball in the air.
I think it's just for that one.
Yeah, well,
usually it's when they touch it after a goal and things.
And the ball was going out to the outer side, and Bayliss was there, and he couldn't get his hands to it, and the ball have gone out of bounds, and we've gone about a minute in the first quarter so far. So the ball's just pretty close to where Yarra Glen's kicking this quarter, just a bit shy of their inside forward 50 as the ball's back in, and once again Ratton's won the tap out, and it's going the way of Yarra Glen. Oh, a bit of big crunch.
Billy Gardner with that.
There. He's going to
fend off there.
That was a fair bump too, and I think that's Cowan again.
The second heavy knock for him at the start of the quarter.
He was very slow to get up, and he's lucky to be able to take his handball and give it off to Taylor, who kicks to the middle of the ground and finds Josh Johnson. A handball straight away. They look to go inside forward 50 here. Couldn't mark in front was Roy. It was a good fist from behind that came from the Yarra Glen defender, and held with that it was Roy, and he'll get the free kick. He's about 50 out.
would be kicking from a true 50
Yep.
at any normal ground.
He's kicking to the racecourse end, obviously, early on in this third quarter here at Yarra Glen, and this could be the dream start if Roy kicks true here. He nearly took the mark of the year, a la Shy Bolton, in the opposite end in the second quarter, but couldn't bring it down. But Roy now was on his approach to have a shot from, I'll say 45. It's a slight angle. The kick is on the way. It looks all right off the boot. The umpire's dancing for it, and it's just drifted across
put it
the
to
face,
the right.
through from behind, and that takes POWELLTOWN to 1-8-14 to Yarra Glen's 8-4-52 early on in the second quarter, as the ball's been taken in very quickly right in front of us, and the mark's been taken by Samuel Wood, who goes down the line, really hugs the boundary, and...
a second grab as he got it.
The umpire looked at the boundary umpire there, and the mark has been paid by McCulloch. He goes inboard to just pretty much the edge of the centre square. That's a silly chance to play on, son, but he got the handball away, was Gardner, and POWELLTOWN mop up now. Ashby with the ball, handballs backwards a bit to Ratton. He'll get the kick, hugging the line. Your man Cowan couldn't mark. Little fist there came.
Oh, the Golden Fist. One of the Golden Fist winners. Multiple Golden Fist winner,
Came
Kennedy.
from your man Kennedy.
Yep, he got that one in. Spoiled the mark.
Ball's thrown in. Ratton's got the tap once again. Really dominating today is Ratton in the ruck, and the ball goes out of bounds once again. About to, say, 60 metres out from goal, just on all the logos here at Yarra Glen.
Yeah, the nice rainbow P for the Pride game. Looking very good out there. A boundary throw in. And Smith against Ratton. Ratton with the strength, gets it over the back. Cowan trying to bust his way through. He's probably taken on a few too many there. Mr. Jose agrees. He's going to stick with Jose. It's not right, but we're going to stick with it because it's fun. Samuel Horsley. He had a great first quarter, went a bit quiet after that, but now he's coming into it in the third. He gets his kick up to the half-forward line, but Adam Oxley has played a good game in defence so far as well. He gets the intercept mark, kicking it towards the outer side. Found a teammate out there. Now they're looking back inboard. Trying to find here McLaughlin. Does so. He's got a loose player out here in Ashby. Ashby's got some time, and he's got Cowan out here further on the wing, but they go back inboard towards Taylor. Taylor now swings around onto his right, looking towards the middle, but ill-directed kick there. A little bit too lackadaisical on it. It's intercepted here by Yarra Glen. And Billy Gardner with a stretching attempt takes it to the half-forward line. Kicks into the half-forward now. Leading Garthwaite coming up. Looked like he was a leading player there, but he couldn't get it. And it's our man Morrison who's taken the mark, and will have a shot on goal, about 45-degree angle, and then we'll kick from about 40, just over 40 out.
Yeah, we'll stick with that, I reckon. It's pretty close to it.
Oh, so they only got to be a 40-metre line. Ground's only 136 metres long.
Oh, well, there we go. I didn't know that. Anyway, Morrison's always on his approach for his fourth goal. Kick is on the way now, and it is a marvellous kick. He's kicked his fourth, and Yarra Glen have kicked away once again. They're now 9-4-58, leading POWELLTOWN's 1-8-14. And our clock's correct. We're doing 5.5 minutes in the third quarter. The AFL Outer East match of the day.
And it's been another good start here by Yarra Glen, making the most of their forays forward. And ball's back in the middle. And we've still got change of ruckman in there for Yarra Glen. And it's McCulloch that was back in there. It come down. Rusty Cowan with another clearance onto his left foot. Up towards Bayliss, who's playing off half forward now instead of half back. He kicks towards the centre leading player. Oh, drop there by Yarra Glen. Let McLaughlin into play. Kicks around the corner, and it just bounces away from the goals and out of bounds into the pocket.
It was a red-hot chance there, Roy, to get onto the ball. If it just didn't run away from him, and that could have been a goal that POWELLTOWN desperately needed. But nevertheless, it's gone out of bounds in the pocket.
couple of teams struggling to hit the goals scoreboard today. Doveton is 3 behinds, and as we heard, only 3 behinds, and Belgrave were yet to kick a goal as well. But kick out there from Yarra Glen has fallen into the hands of Jaden Mullen. He has a flying shot at goal, and he's missed away to the right as well. We're just waiting for the all clear, I think. Yes, Mr. Allen, he's waiting for the all clear from the field umpire, who's still yet to give that. Come on, boys.
I think he's
Get down there, give the all clear. Let Mr. Allen put his finger up. So it moves POWELLTOWN on to 1-9-15. Trailing Yarra Glen 9-4-58. As the ball from the kick-ins come out towards our commentary side. It's in the hands of Mr. Cowan. Then Garthwaite. Back to McLaughlin, whose kick is intercepted by Yarra Glen. They kick into the field towards Gardner. Should have been paid the free kick or the mark, either or, but he got nothing.
What?
Coming through, Cam Tate picks it up and gets tackled straight away.
I'll tell you what.
I think it was a bit too close to the action there, the umpire.
Are we allowed to criticise that point?
No, at no point.
Gee whiz, that's a bit disappointing, that, to be honest. Should have been a mark. Anyway, Yarra Glen will clear the ball now, and they'll go inside 450. No, they won't. It was a good smother off the boot there by Ashby of POWELLTOWN. The ball's on the cricket pitch now in the middle, and they're just trying to get it away. The umpire gets in the way there, but got out of the way. McLaughlin who got the ball and got the clearing kick away, but it's coming straight back, and the mark's been taken there, nearly on the edge of the centre square. He's calling out for it wide is Ashton. The captain's going to get it and he'll go for a run. So he brings it down the outer side and he gets to his teammate in Wood on the foot. Wood now looking for someone to come for him or even lead for him. He's been told to go down the line or inside the forward 50 and he does that. And he does that, wasn't bad off the boot, but the mark's been taken by Ashby. He'll kick into the middle and the mark's been taken by Mullen. He'll take it to the wider side now, where we don't like the play because we can't really tell who's got the ball. Nevertheless, he kicked the ball back towards the centre square. The mark's been taken by Shannon Halliday. He's played on. He'll go inside forward 50. They need a mark and they've got it.
That's the first time they've been able to hit folks up on a lead all day.
Yep. He's been their main target inside forward 50 all day, and it's gone to ground on pretty much 99.8% of the occasions. And this time, Folks has taken the mark. He'll go back and have a shot. Actually, he's on his approach now. He's had the 2 behinds today. The kick is on the way, and he snuck it through.
It didn't look good off the
ball through. It was a bit of a helicopter punt, but Folks has gotten a goal that POWELLTOWN desperately needed. They're now 2-9-21 trailing Yarra Glen's 9-4-58, and we're approaching 10 gone, third quarter. Pride Cup Day at Yarra Glen.
Well, the premiership quarter, they need to get going here, POWELLTOWN, if they're going to get back into it. And that's their best way to do it. Put some goals on the board. Still tied up down at Upway. It's 42 apiece. They've kicked it behind each. As mentioned before, Doveton are 3 behinds. Beaconsfield are 104. Pakenham 12, Narre Warren are on 25, and Linda and Wirialik are all tied up on 43.
Thank you very much for that. We're loving the around the ground scores. The game face record app's been very, very handy for us so far this year. As POWELLTOWN will make another little foray forward. Nearly would have been paid the mark to MacArthur, but no. Kick right down in front of us to your man Kennedy.
Did he just show him the ball?
Yes, he did. Kennedy goes down the line a little bit, and the mark has been taken by Billy Gardner. Slam it inside forward 50. No, he won't. He'll kick down the line, hugs the boundary, but nevertheless, the mark was taken by, looked like number 6, but there isn't a number 6.
8, Timmy Eckers.
Eckers, thank you very much. There was a mark there to McCullough. He kicks inside forward 50, and defending well there, POWELLTOWN. Marks taken by Garthwaite. Bring the ball around the outer side. There was a late fist there, but POWELLTOWN around the half of it. And it's gone through both of the players there on the outer side wing. And there's going to be a stoppage. There'll be a ball up here, you'd think. No,
he dived on it and didn't get it out.
That's exactly what the umpire just said. He's made the diving notion there to the players, and now POWELLTOWN will have another chance to go inside forward 50, and they do. It's just missed the hands of Roy. It's missed the whole lot. And
no, they're still playing.
I thought they stopped.
But some of the players might have thought it got him out of bounds as well.
Anyway, Stevenson Kicks to the outer side to his teammate, who takes the mark, looks for a lead, plays on now, kicks to a man by himself, who thought about playing on but decided to stop and go back and have a look around before he's told to go by the umpire. He goes now. Still goes down the line, so good looking kick, good fist there from Garthwaite once again. The ball goes out of bounds for a throw in, and we've gone nearly 12 minutes, third quarter, as the trainers are actually making their way out in the ground for Yarra Glen. Might be someone in a bit of trouble.
Maybe a bit of cramp somewhere creeping in. Mount Evelyn at 129, leading Belgrave 4. Emerald is 73 over Seville at 23. Hillsville 13 over trailing Gembrook 71. And Monbulk 99 leading Berry Springs 18.
Gold Coast by 22 points at three-quarter time against St Kilda. You'd almost say they're home.
A free kick from this boundary throw-in. It's going the way of Yarra Glen. And now a 25-metre penalty. Bring him just within scoring distance, I'd say. Yeah, Mark's going to be set just outside the 40-metre line. So Yarra Glen player looking for the lead. Just overcooked it slightly. Had a free player there. Kick off the ground. Now the outside of the boot effort just spun the wrong way, Liam. And it's gone out of bounds in our favourite pocket for a good positioning.
Would that have been a mark?
No.
To Mackenzie, I thought he would have. Okay. Don't mind me. Ball's going to be thrown in right in front of the lovely tree with all the autumn leaves on it. It's missed the ruckman completely. It's gone out the back of the pack. And there was a kick there that was
Billy Gunner
almost rushed, but I wouldn't want to
Bit of
say
a
that.
bump
The
ahead.
umpires found a high free kick and will go the way of Yarra Glen. And once again, I'm not too sure who's taking it.
Yeah, well, you keep an eye on him as he turns around. Hopefully he turns this way.
Nevertheless, it's going to be a shot on goal. Is it Morrison again?
Or is it my man Kennedy?
We don't know who it is, but they're on their approach to have a shot on goal.
No.
And it's straight through the middle. It's another goal.
It might be Stevenson. Looks like the two number ones there.
Well, we've gone with Lachlan Stevenson early on to kick his first goal of the afternoon, but we're not 100% sure. But what we are 100% sure of is that Yarra Glen have gone to 10-4-64 to POWELLTOWN 2-9-21, and we've gone 14.5 minutes here in the third quarter at Yarra Glen on Pride Cup afternoon for 2021. The ball's back in the middle. Both ruckmen got their hands on it. No one really got the decisive tap. The ball's come out the back to Reece Johnson, who was tackled with the ball. The locals called for holding the ball. They didn't get it. Ball comes out the back. It's edge of the centre square, and they're still scrapping and fighting over the ball. No one can really gain a possession of it yet. And a good tackle there from McCrimmon. And then we're going to have a ball up. 15 gone.
Ball up in the middle. Oh, play tries to jump over the back of Benny Ratton there, and he's given away the free kick. So Ratton now switches play out wide to Reece Johnson. It just got over his head, but he's still got plenty of time and space around him. Chips over the top now to a leading up player in MacArthur. MacArthur swings inboard, puts it on the right boot straight away out in front of Folks, who again has just caused... must have given away a free kick against...
Putting for too high, the umpire called.
Okay, well, it's gone to Cameron Tate. So he's played on with a handball backwards. Now kicking short has found Heath Chamberlain. Heath Chamberlain for Yarra Glen. Garthwaite comes across and intercepts, spoils that one beautifully there for POWELLTOWN in front of Jared Hull. And the ball has gone out of bounds right in front of our commentary position.
He's been good across the back line today.
Garthwaite, one of the best defenders in the comp.
Been very, very good.
Jack Garthwaite. So boundary throw in. Right in front of us, as we said. A bit of volleyball taps going on there. Johnson couldn't quite pick it up and dispose of it correctly, and he's got it out of bounds.
Close to being out in the full there.
Yes, very, very close. The boundary umpire right on it though.
Yep, did well.
So throw in now. We're going to get more volleyball. No, we don't. We get a tap down the ground. Cowan slightly pushed out of it, and that's what's been paid off the ball. It's going to go the way of Rusty. You can't pick up and play on from there. So it's going to come back to the centre wing position. And Russell Cowan looking for his options. The centre half forward space is open. Shepherd leads through that now, but he's ignored. So it goes further towards the pocket to the big man, Ratton. And they're able to inflict a spoil on him. Here's Yarra Glen for a ball out of bounds. Around the grounds, we've got the closest game in Division 2. In Kinglake are 48, Alexandra are 30.
Ball's tossed back in. Yarra Glen have been pretty good in the ruck the last couple of minutes. Daniel Galthbraith's gone in there and he's been pretty good going up against the likes of Ben Ratton once again. But this time we're going to have a ball up. Still on the outer wing here, just to the left of commentary position here at Yarra Glen. Ball's back in the air now. Ratton won that, tapped down to Cowan, but he couldn't keep the ball alive, and we have another stoppage. We'll have to throw in actually, and we've gone 17.5, nearly 18 minutes here in the third quarter. It's 10-4 to 2-9. The ball's back in now. Ratton tries to tap it over his head again this time, but Yarra Glen's going to come away with it through Hayden Schilly, and the ball goes down the line. No one can take the mark. Nearly tried to tap back towards the advantage of POWELLTOWN, but they're coming away with it once again, Yarra Glen. There's Hayden Schilly again, and no one can grab the mark there, and the ball's just trickling its way towards the boundary line. Oh, he'll get on his left foot here and kick a goal. No, he won't. 3 from behind. 10-5, 2-9. 18.5 gone, third quarter.
And playing on now is Josh Taylor out of the back line. Runs his full measure. Leo would hate it. Got to 30 metres out before he kicked. Now the ball's all the way up in the wing. But that's why we like to see it, Leo. Because now Powley. Oh, barrel, Liam. Absolute barrel up towards Dean Roy. And then it's gone out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. And we're now all the way up to the half-forward line. Only about 50 metres out from Powley's goal.
They sure are. Excuse me.
Upway's jumped out for the Possum and Murray from the Murray. They're 5-point leaders now. Dufton's still yet to kick a goal, but Belgrave are off the mark. They're 2-14, Liam. So keeping you update with those from around the grounds. Quick kick out of the pack here towards the goals. It's rushed through 4 behind. Couldn't quite see who kicked it, so I'm just going to put it to rushed. Unless you knew.
No, I couldn't see it.
Missed that one too. So 2-10-22 POWELLTOWN. Hugely inaccurate here. Trailing Yarra Glen at 10-5, 65.
Yes, that's one thing we're 100% sure of. We don't need player numbers for that.
No. Yeah, 19.5 minutes gone in this third
Ball's
quarter.
going to be taken in by Wales. He kicks it to the top of the centre square, and it's a little mongrel kick that nearly came off, but be coming back to the hands of POWELLTOWN through Cowan again.
Bayless.
It was Bayless, sorry. Yep. Anyway, the ball was nearly taken there by Anderson. He dropped the ball. Get the handball now, and they're going to clear again.
The Gardner shocker kick.
There was a falcon in the back of the head. That's Cowan. He has a shot towards goal, and he's kicked it out in the full. Oh,
was under pressure.
Yes, he was.
From the smother. So.
Yes, he was. We've entered time on as well, third quarter. Yarra Glen now to take the kick, and they'll come down the line right in front of us. He runs his full measure, goes bang. Good 50-metre kick at least. Good grab from the side. Sam Wood, magnificent mark. Excuse me, kick straight away to a 1-on-2. Ooh, that's
his own player. It was his own player.
What is happening today? Anyway,
Garthwaite got given the ball for the free kick and just threw it away because he knew it was Tyler Green that came through and clocked him in the back of the head in the marking contest.
It can't be a jumper clash, surely. Ball's back in the air. This time the tap won by Jesse Mitchell. He's going for a run in the ruck and
he ran too far.
Pinned for running too far.
Yeah, well, it came straight from the stoppage.
That's probably fair enough.
Where it is. He just had to try and break too many tackles there, Cowan. He was on about his third when he got pinged.
Wood will take the free kick. He kicks to the edge of the 50. He'll get a target as well. That's a good mark. Oh, gee, wouldn't want to land in his back too much, mate, or you get a 25-metre penalty, and the mark's been taken by Callum Morrison.
He's probably just within scoring distance
So
if he really wanted to give it an effort.
Morrison plays on. He sort of squares it up to make it a little bit easier because it was going to be directly in front if someone marked another shot. The ball's bobbling around. We got a snap around the body, and it's going to be picked up well by the Powelltown defence. That's nearly deliberate, umpire.
No, we don't have that.
No, sorry.
Joffrey Taylor, well within his rights to just put that one behind.
I keep forgetting that you are officiating this competition, Cam.
On occasions.
He didn't make a bad decision last week, I hear. As Powelltown bring the ball away now from full back, and the mark's been taken at the edge of the centre square by Lord. He kicks to the outer side now of the square, and Anderson's trying to run after the ball. He got a good bounce. It sits for him. He handballs to Folkes. He kicks inside forward 50 to a genuine one-on-one, and they've got another mark inside forward 50 this time, and the ruckman Ratton has gone down for a rest. He's plonked himself, we'll say at full forward, I reckon, and he's going to go back and have a shot. He's a little bit in the pocket here.
Yeah, at least they were a bit slow against some other teams trying to change this up the other week, Powley, but it's working for them at the moment. They should have done a bit early.
Ratton did a bit of a hop step as he went to kick that. He missed the whole lot.
He has missed everything. It was working for them until the shot on goal.
What would Brian Taylor say? Goodness gracious me. He kicked it out in the full. And then JB would chime in with something usually. Anyway, kicking out a full back here to take the free kick, Smith. I told you the speakers would come back and give us a bit of feedback. He goes down goes down the line. There's a good 2-on-2 contest there. Oxley, I nearly said Sard for a second.
Garthwaite just keeps getting hit by his teammates.
He's going to crack it today, Garthwaite, I reckon. We're having the ball up right in front of us. 23.5 minutes
reported for hitting one of his own blokes.
Probably.
It's just some frustration.
Ball's back in the air now. Powelltown with a nice decisive tap. It's Ratton back in the ruck, and the umpire's found a free kick this time. On the way at Powelltown for a hold.
A vigorous hold.
And it's going to Ashby. Launches the ball inside the 50 now. They'd love a mark here, but they're outnumbered here. And the ball's just been tapped over the boundary, and we'll have another throw in. And we've ticked into the 24th minute as of now. Third quarter here at Yarra Glen. The match of the day. It's Pride Cup 2021.
Wanted to have hit the front again. They're 1 point ahead of Upway Tacoma. Free kick from this ruck contest from the boundary throw-in. Which way is it going?
Powelltown.
It's going to go to Powelltown. And it's going to go to Folkes. So they really need to kick this one to have any semblance of being close enough come three-quarter time.
Yes, it'd still be a pretty...
Still got time when they do, if they do.
Absolutely.
Folkes now deliberate on his run up. That's a much better ball drop, much better kick, and a much better result for the man. He's got his second of the afternoon, and the third for Powelltown. They are now 3-11-29, trailing Yarra Glen at 10-5-65. We've been going 25 minutes into the third term, Liam.
Good little reward there from Folkes. I think he's been pretty good today. He's been a bit unlucky when leading to the ball when Powelltown have gone inside forward 50 today, but he's got 2-2 now. A little bit of reward on the afternoon for him, and Powelltown are still fighting away just to keep scrapping and fighting their way into this game a little bit. But they do the next goal.
Ratton is back into the ruck, and he takes it out there again. Gets a handball out wide towards Cowan, who he's held on to on that occasion and a bit high. So he's going to get the free kick in the middle, but his shoelace has come undone. So you're going to have time off for that. Alinda Fernie Creek is 67, just kicked another goal, 10-7-67, leading Wurialik 6-12-48. Harry Warren and Pakenham still fairly low scoring down there. Begginsfield easy leaders currently over Doveton, and as we said, Warren have just got a 2-point lead over Upway Tacoma. The long kick from Cowan towards the pocket. Roy was the only one that stayed down. I'm not sure that ball was quite out yet. But it's been adjudged that way, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Dean Roy, how good was that? Two went up against him, and he actually kept his feet, and he could have nearly run into a semi-open goal from that effort. So
he did really, really
the importance of keeping your feet, Liam. From the boundary throw-in, there's a hold here, and it's going to go the way of Ratton. That's the way that's being pointed, or is it off the ball holding?
It's going to Ratton, I think.
It is going to the captain, Ratton. There seem to be 2 Yarra Glen players up in the ruck against him, so not sure how they went. He's got the interesting strapping around the knees, Benny Ratton. He can't run through there, Mr. Shepherd. So Benny Ratton, can he keep the captain's goal for Powelltown? He goes wide, and that's where he puts the ball wide through for another behind. 3:12:30 is Powelltown, trailing Yarra Glen at 10-5-65, but they are still within striking distance with just a quarter and a couple of minutes to go, Liam.
My very word, they are. So Yarra Glen now breaking out of defence. No one could mark the ball there. Sort of positions itself out the back to the crowd. Want a ball, they won't get it. Powelltown still have possession here. Taylor now with the ball, he's got it. He'll go to the middle of the ground. And Ratton couldn't bring the ball down there, and Yarra Glen can come away with it.
You've taken it on and you're gone.
You can't do that. They've lifted a little bit here, Powelltown. They need a quick ball inside 50 here, I think, to give them a chance of scoring another one. And that'll be three-quarter time.
So just ran out of time there, Powelltown, but they did have most of the score in that quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoring shots to 3, Liam. And at three-quarter time, we see Yarra Glen 10-5-65. Did he have a shot and didn't make it anyway? To Powelltown at 3:12:30. We'll go back to the studios of Yarra Valley FM for our three-quarter time break and be back for the last quarter on our match of the day, Pride Cup 2021. Thank you. 90 and Mobolk 19-13-127 leading Berwick Springs 3 straight goals 18. The other matches in Division 2. Flipping over to those. Battle of the 2 undefeated so far is Kinglake at 9-6-60 leading Alexandra 5-7-37. Warburton Millgrove 111 over Broadford 26 and Junction 140 leading Yay 23 as we're back under the way for the fourth quarter here. It's Yarra Glen with a quick clearance, but it's chopping it off was Josh Taylor, who's done a pretty good job for Powley. He kicks it up, they get the ball up to the half forward line. Couldn't quite pick it up on the first go, but it's going back into it is Jared Bayliss. And Yarra Glen now, though, able to pick the ball up and kick it, the scrubby kick up towards the wing. Leading in the race is MacArthur for Powelltown. Just keeps it in play. Kicks it towards Bayliss, but coming through and taking the defensive mark there is Jaden Schill for Yarra Glen.
So Schill now on his defensive 50. Being called to play on now. He was going to go down the line. He went low in board, but no, he'll go down the line to a 2-on-2.
Hospital ward with Gardner.
Absolutely. Ball comes out the back.
Tunnel ball.
Flicked out of the back, and yeah, that'll be balled up, you would think. That's not coming out, and then we'll have a ball up. Just to the right of our broadcast position here.
Right on the Pride logo for the Pride Cup game in 2021.
Indeed, and the ball's back in the air now. Ratton won another tap out. He's been fantastic today. Ashby tried to keep the ball in, but once again, it's gone out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Just a couple of metres shy of where that last stoppage was. And we've gone a minute and a half here in the last. Ball back in now in some lovely afternoon sunshine as Ratton won the tap out once again, but it's gone to the advantage of Yarra Glen and Wood. Kicks to the middle of the ground, lands on the cricket pitch and does a big bounce. That was tunnel ball once again, and this time it's been picked up. And Powelltown will pick up the free kick in the middle of the ground.
Kenzie didn't get away with that one on that occasion.
No, he did not. So Powley now look to go inside forward 50, and they do, and that's a nice strong mark on
up
the
forward Garthwaite. Switching it up now, Powley, to try and get something going.
Is it within his range?
Should be.
Right, well that's a vote of confidence.
He's only going to kick from 45.
So Garthwaite.
Mark's just outside the 40 line.
He's more or less directly in front, and he's kicking to the, well, we'll say the Gembrook end, because I know Leo will be listening in somewhere. We'll make him happy, but it's the Melbourne Highway end. He's on his approach now.
It's probably on the 13th end.
Yeah, probably. Kick is on the way. It looks all right off the boot, I tell you what.
Oh, he's hit the very top of the left goalpost.
Oh, gee.
Nothing can go right with their goal kicking today, Powley.
3:13:31. 10:5:65. We're going nearly 3 minutes in the last quarter, sorry. Ball comes out of defence. Garthwaite nearly brought the mark down, but it was touched off the boot in front of by the Yarra Glen player as McLaughlin now will kick inside the forward 50. And
bit of holding there. Oh, good mark.
that's a fantastic mark to Folkes.
Been held on the whole way, but he's tapped it up to himself beautifully about 2 or 3 times there, Lam.
He did indeed, and it was really, really good to see him just carry the ball down, complete the mark, and he did so. And he'll slam this through, you'd think, for POWELLTOWN's 4th of the afternoon. And he does. And just the help of the trees brings it back down to earth. He's kicked his 3rd for the afternoon. POWELLTOWN are now 4:13:37 and trailing Yarra Glen 10:5:65, and we've gone 3.5 minutes in the final quarter of the AFL out of East.
Play there, Lam.
Indeed it was. And they're still alive. They're 28 points down. 4 minutes gone. Early days, 4th quarter. Anything can happen here.
Absolutely. One more and it's 100% game on.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we're only 80% way there at the moment. Just need one more to really get me excited. Ball's back in the middle. Kick out there towards Powley's way. And too high a free kick's being paid here. It's going to go to POWELLTOWN. And
come on.
Advantage was paid and advantage has been revoked.
He's paid 25 as well, and he called play on advantage.
No, it's coming back to where the original free kick was.
Oh. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, no, it was down there.
Okay.
And it was, the problem was it was picked up 25 metres in front of where the free kick was by Moody, who then ran on. So, but now the free kick's gone the other way. So Billy Gardner's got the ball. He's going to put it deep in towards Yarra Glen's attacking. Oh, is that a mark to Telford? How was that? That just fell into his lap there, Liam. So Lockie Telford deep into the forward pocket. He's going to have a shot on a pretty tough angle. Kind of looking into the sun as well. As it starts to go down behind us. He's gone the check side. And he's missed. Straight away the tap of the chest by Mr. Allen says you have missed. And that brings his score to 10-6-66 on our scoreboard here, which we will check.
Sounds like we just got confirmation of that as well.
And now it's going to be kicked in again by Taylor. Taylor kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It's not taken there by Shepherd. A lot of players around this, and it's free kick for too high miss there, unfortunately. Against, would have gone the way of Josh Johnson, but umpire blindsided on that occasion. So it's going to be Smith in the ruck against Ratton. Ratton stands his ground. Double-hander down in front. Coming through is Ashton. Kicks it up towards half-forward. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark there was Morrison. Snap around the corner here by Telford. Up to the top of the goal square. Couldn't take the mark there was Yarra Glen. A handball out wide by Powley. They can get this out there. Johnson's going to run onto it. He's got a metre to pick it up and try and get around Billy Gardner. Turns him on a thrippany bit, Liam. And kicks it up on his left foot towards the half-forward line. That's a good strong mark out in front there by Powley. They play on now. Putting it towards the one-on-one contest. Both players wrap their arms around each other in Folkes and Tate. The ball comes to ground in front of them and it's going to be called for a ball up. They just need an extra runner or somebody coming past there, Powley.
Yep.
So that because that was that one-on-one contest you want, and then if the forward can control where it lands. It's a free kick here against Folkes. That was quite clear. It's going to go the way of Cameron Tate. Cameron Tate. And he's defensive line. Kicks out wide, close to the boundary line out there too, I'd say. Bit of push in the back there from Ratton. It's going to go the way of Yarra Glen. They just need another goal or two to ice this one. That's what they're looking for. And Powley need another one or two to really make it a tight contest. Yarra Glen kicking towards half-forward line. Quick play on here as well. Running past, having a shot on goal. He's missed away to the left. Probably had a lot more time there than he knew. Can't quite pick up who that was at this stage. Number 8, I'm going with Timmy Eckers for the behind. So 10, 7:67 we've got, and 8 minutes gone into the final term.
McLaughlin has the ball now inside his defensive 50. He'll go down the line, and the mark has been taken by Garthwaite, who's playing a little bit up the ground. His handball towards Cowan was no good, and he's given away a free kick for his troubles, and he'll go the way of Yarra Glen. Advantage has been paid. Ball came to Horsley, and now it's gone to Binion, and he'll go inside forward 50, and the mark has been taken, and that's good play from where they were, and the ball was coming out of defence to now have another shot on goal.
Billy Gardner.
It is indeed Gardner. He'll go back and have a shot for his second, and he'll put the margin out to probably a match-winning lead if he can guide this through as we tick towards the 9th minute of play here in the final quarter. Pride Cup Day. Yarra Glen has Gardner's on his approach now. He'll kick from about 38 metres. Kick is on the way. It's low and hard, but just drifted across through for a behind. And that takes Yarra Glen to 10-8-68, leading POWELLTOWN 4-13-37. 9 minutes gone, final quarter here. It's a Powley now. Runs a good 30 metres out of defence and a big thumping kick into the middle of the ground and nearly a mark in front. He's paid it. The mark's been taken by Bayliss, who let one go. And inside forward 50, a good one-on-one here. It came off the chest there of folks. He couldn't bring it down, and it's a free kick actually to Yarra Glen now. So they're inside their defensive 50. They'll go to the outer side once again. They've used that corridor quite a bit today, but now they'll look to go back into the middle of the ground once again to a 2-on-1. Did well to hold his ground there. Was a Yarra Glen player. Nearly brought down the mark, but he's been wrapped up. Actually, no, not yet. The ball's still bobbling around, and now the umpire will say, "Give it to me, boys." And we've gone pretty much on bang on 10 minutes final quarter here.
Yeah, Kennedy couldn't hold on to that one, but did fairly well to keep the ball in his vicinity. And it's just waiting for the players to clear. The ball goes back up in the middle now. Good strong tackling in there. We're going to see another ball up. And a lot of feedback coming.
Don't say anything.
Just turn it off. Just turn it off. Ratton on hands and knees. Gets the ball out wide. Now Powley get a scrubby kick out towards Garthwaite. He does well to pick that up. Now he's got to knock it out. Binion was in there, but coming through, Roy picks it up and slams it on his left. And he's got two Powley players there. They can raffle it. And Russell Cowan takes it in front of Gary Shepherd. Resting up forward at the moment, Rusty. And he's going to have a deliberate shot on goal now from about 40 out.
Ooh.
Goes on his left foot and kind of stabs at it and just makes it go away to the right-hand side. That's another behind to Russell Cowan for the day. There for 14-38. Trailing Yarra Glen at 10-8-68. We're going 11 minutes in the final term.
Ball's out now on the outer side for Yarra Glen. They've controlled the ball out of defence really, really well today. They look to bring the ball back in the middle, and they do. And they're going to continue with the overlap run. They'll have a nice, big, dangerous leap inside the forward 50 here after the next kick. And it's inside their 50 now, and the mark has been... Oh, it's actually not inside their 50. I've gone a bit silly there. Now it's inside forward 50, and oh boy, it's gone out in the full. And it'll be a turnover, and it'll be POWELLTOWN's ball at the 12-minute mark final quarter. So where are they going to go here, POWELLTOWN? They'll go down the line. Just outside the edge of the centre square here, and it's come out the back, and Yarra Glen will get it back. And the ball's come out the back. No one can get the ball. Slipping over with the ball was McLaughlin. And it's come out the back to another contest. And umpire says, "I'll ball it up." Been nearly going 12 and a half minutes here as The Pride Cups have just gone onto the little table out in front of us.
They're out there on display for the winners. If you need extra motivation, there they are. Ashby coming through, gets a quick kick on that as a clearance, but a diving effort there by Yarra Glen, couldn't take it though, and Josh Johnson picks it up, puts it on his left foot towards half forward. Is this Dean Roy running out in front of it? He gets a kick off the ground towards Folks, who loses Tate for the moment, gets a handball back to Dean Roy, and Dean Roy slams on the 5th goal of the afternoon to POWELLTOwn. That was a good bit of play there by the Towners, and they are 5-14-44, just in sniffing distance. They've been close enough to get a result here. 13 minutes gone into the final term.
Well, an even 4-goal margin now, and we've gone 13. Not really prepared to write them off yet, but if Yarra Glen kick the next one, I think they could be singing for their supper out at POWELLTOwn tonight. But
another lead change down at Upway too, Liam. That's Wannon back in front by 3 points. They're 9-11-65 leading Upway, 9-8-62, and closing up the gap are Pakenham on Narry Warren as well. They're 7-2-44, Pakenham 8-8-56, and Alenferny Creek have jumped a little bit further ahead of Woori-Alec. They're 73 leading Woori 50. So the ball goes back up into the middle. Smith with an early jump, but it's Ratton who takes the ball out, gets a thumping left foot kick onto it, where Folks couldn't get the mark, but Dean Roy again, he roved that beautifully off the hands of Folks, and a right foot snap around the corner. Dean Roy, he's putting POWELLTOwn back within striking distance here. 6-14-50 now. Only 18 points adrift of Yarra Glen POWELLTOwn.
I'll tell you what, that was magnificent roving there from Roy. The ball was on the ground, and the only real option he had was to snap it on his boot, and snap it on his boot he did, and must have only just snuck through, because I thought it was a point off the boot, to be honest.
He is an own goal kicker, Mr. Dean Roy, and I did mention before that in an earlier bit of play that this quarter, that POWELLTOwn just had to get a rover to Folks' feet, and it looks like they've done so now. But Yarra Glen win this clearance to get up towards the half-forward line. Joshy Taylor just hangs back and waits for the player to pick it up and then tackles them, so they're not going anywhere there. But it's in the half-forward line here for Yarra Glen. They need a quick reply now, just a bit of a settler, Liam.
Yeah, they sure do. The ball's inside their forward 50 as well. The ball's back in the air. Ratton won the tap. He's been brilliant today. They can't get the ball clear of that 50, and there's a lot of players around this ball, and the umpire says, "I'll have it, boys. We'll have another ball up." They're about 45 metres out from Yarra Glen's goal at the racecourse end of the ground, trying to get above his POWELLTOwn opponent. The ruck there was the Yarra Glen ruckman, and he couldn't. And the umpire says, "Give it to me." We've gone about another metre and a quarter there, and we're having the third stoppage in about 35 seconds. And we do say there'll be a free kick soon enough. Ball's up straight away. Ratton has won the tap again, but this time it favours Yarra Glen, who'll go inside forward 50 and will bounce and skip away off the boot.
Through from behind. I think it was Timmy Eckers.
And then now 10-9 to 6-14, and we've gone 15.5 minutes in the final quarter here.
Quick kick out's gone to the half-back line for POWELLTOwn, still in their hands. And players wide out in the wing here. Johnson gets the handball out wide to a teammate who now switches inboard, but it's an up and under kick. No one wants to really be sitting under those. At Powley with the crumbs. Get out front. Dean Roy taps it on again. At Yarra Glen with a handball. They get a defensive kick out wide, and the mark's been taken out there. And I think it might be Mackenzie. He looks inboard now to Telford. Bayless manning the mark. He's walked sideways for mine. Should be play on. And now it's called. Away goes Telford. Gets the kick long down towards the wing, but it's in the Ratton direction. He's got the size on his opponent there. It's probably not the best place to put it, and it's come off hands and gone out of bounds. Another lead change. The Upway Tigers are back in front. 68 to 65.
Told you it'd be a good game.
Boundary throw in. Ratton won the tap out easy, but it's apparently given away a free kick in doing so. And Smith is going to just waltz over and get the ball. Wandon back in front.
God almighty, it's going back and forth a bit, isn't it?
It is. I'm not allowed to do your chip kick there, Mr. Smith. Has to bring it back. Now kick over the player on the mark. Finds a teammate. It's not really in the best scoring position there. There's a few players on the lead. There's a bit of gap here. It's good defensive, fist off hand. Billy Gardner's got it. Right foot snap to the top of the goal square. Anyone there? I can't quite hang on to a good defensive effort there. Is that Reece Johnson?
I think it is.
No, it's McCrimmon.
Oh, well, don't mind me.
Russell McCrimmon's the other 8. So the 48. And he kicks it defensively for POWELLTOWN. Into the pocket to Cowan. Cowan loves that left foot. He kicks it over the top towards Moody. Moody can run onto it. He can keep going, but he tripped over himself. And Yarra Glen are able to pick it up and put it back towards the half-forward line. Good contested mark there taken. Now they're just wasting too much time. They need to try and speed up this ball movement a bit. Don't let Powley get the extra numbers back. That ball, I don't know where that was going. But it went out of bounds on the full. But if it hadn't, it would have been raffled between 2 POWELLTOWN players.
Exactly right. Looking to kick the ball to the 1800 metre mark of the racecourse across the road. Now, POWELLTOWN have got the ball now and they're trying to clear it out of defence, and they do so now right in front of us. They've got a mark here. It's to Anderson, and it'll smother it off the boot, and it'll go out of bounds. They're still challenging here, POWELLTOWN.
Great smother by Nick McKenzie.
It sure was. It saved another inside 50 entry for sure from a POWELLTOWN perspective, but great defence from Yarra Glen as we got a ball in. 19 minutes gone, final quarter. He's taken it out of the ruck, has Ratton. He'll get the handball aside to McLaughlin. He'll kick the ball inside the forward 50. They need a mark, but a fantastic fist came there, and it's going to work out well for Yarra Glen. They'll get the clearing kick away, but it's a 2-on-1. No one's at the fall of the ball. It could favour Yarra Glen, but he ran into his opponent. Crunching into the contest hard was Ratton. He took his Yarra Glen opponent out. He's gotten there and got the ball, and it's come out the back, and they'll go down the line to a 2-on-1. That's not going to work, or could it?
In the full. Is it? It is.
It's gone out in the full. Ashby kicked it out in the full. Free kick be taken by Yarra Glen. And he's had to go the 20.
He's had to go 30 metres off the ground to get the ball.
Yep.
and he's still not outside the fence.
No. So, Telford's got the ball. He plays on. Comes inboard about 10 metres and he'll thump it down the line. Yep, the mark. The Ox has taken a mark. Yarra Glen player on the ground thought he would have got a free kick, but Mr. Chamberlain, you were not going to get one there on that occasion. So Oxley plays on. Chips it down the line. He hits a target. Beautiful kick. Finds Cowan. Handball's inboard. Ball's now inside the forward 50 now. They need a mark to stay within the game.
He's Roy again.
Oh, what was that? He did the Daniel Wells jump kick, but he's got the ball straight back. He kicks it around the body. Oh!
Good defensive punch.
Brilliant defence.
I think that's out of bounds for this angle.
They've called out of bounds, but from my spot, it looked like it went through for a behind.
We're only a social distance away from each other,
exactly,
but from mine it was just outside the post, and from yours it was just in.
Goodness gracious me. For about the 18th time today, it's in a good spot for POWELLTOWN.
I'm not quite sure why they're throwing it in there. That was definitely right next to the post.
It was. Anyway, ball's back in now. Big fist came from Folkesies in the ruck, and they're fighting for the ball, and that's gone, umpire.
No, he said mine.
No, he said mine. We've gone 21 and a quarter minutes into the final quarter here, and POWELLTOWN are pushing.
POWELLTOWN are pushing, but they need to score and score quickly now. Time is slowly moving away from them. Folk swings the tap down. Yarra Glen are knocked off the ball. It's coming through. Lots of players around this contest. Yarra Glen in over it, but don't sit on it. Cowan picks it up, busts his way through, gets a handball inboard, doesn't hit a teammate. Yarra Glen pick it up. I think that's Tate around the corner. Gets a kick. Up towards half-back, clearing the lines. Ratton isn't able to hold on to the mark. He's gone to... Yeah, I thought that was right. He went to handball it out and then stopped doing it. And now now he's getting upset with the umpires, which is not going to help this situation at all. He's given away the 25 as well. So plenty of players on in the middle. They switch to Telford, who's there at the moment. Pretty much at centre of the ground. They kick it back out wide towards Gardner. They've got to find some movement and some clean play here at GLEN. Or are they just trying to hold it up? It's being held up now, so not a lot of movement, except for Adam Oxley has taken the defensive mark again. Kicks in towards the middle, but that's ill-directed and cut off here by Smith. Smith for Yarra Glen, putting it deep, but the only one back down there is Jesse Mitchell for POWELLTOWN, who plays on as well. He's got that awkward kicking style. He's got two teammates there, but it goes behind him. They were looking at each other. Capuano picks up the ball on the left foot. Oh, just didn't quite get the distance there. Jesse Mitchell with that very awkward kicking style again, but he's kicks into intercepted, and that kick has gone out of bounds on the full. It's like a comedy of errors in that little bit of play, Liam.
It didn't look like a bad kick off the boot here, just didn't have enough distance on it, unfortunately. But so POWELLTOWN are going to take the kick now. They're deep in defence, and we're ticking into the 23rd and a half minute. And I think Yarra Glen might have just nearly done enough to get the win today. But you never know what could happen in local football. So POWELLTOWN deep in defence now. Ratton's got the ball. He'll kick it down the line. Genuine one-on-one there. Couldn't bring the mark to ground. And it's going to be wrapped up. No, the ball comes out the back now. Clearing kick from Yarra Glen. They're inside forward 50 again. One more will finish the job, but they can't quite get it this time. Moody comes away with the ball. He takes a bounce and he kicks it down the line in front of our commentary spot. Good mark out the back there from Garthwaite once again. He went up. He played on straight away. Probably not the smartest idea. Anderson's in a foot race to the ball. He's got it now. Kicks it to the top of the square. They know to mark it. Won't reach him. Gets there on the half volley. There's a goal. Yes! Jaden Mullins kicked a goal. It keeps POWELLTOWN within reach. Time starting to tick away from them. It's 7:14:56 to 10:9:69. It's a 13-point margin to the Pigs. We've gone 24 and 40. And
the game back on, Liam.
The game is still alive here.
And we'll do a quick check because this could get exciting now. We'll do a quick check of around the grounds as well. And Wandon still have a 5-point lead over Upwey Tacoma, 74 to 69. Doveton have hit the scoreboard. They kicked a goal. They're 9 to Beaconsfield, 141. 14-point game at, as that's a bit of a nasty one there. This could get a bit silly on the field from the ball up. It's going to have to be Smith with the resulting free kick. Pakenham are 14 points behind Narre Warren, and Linda Fernie Creek are now 19 points up on Wirialik. They're the closer games are in the Premier Division at the moment. Is there a 25 being paid here as well? Looks like there might be. So we're just seeing where this ball's going to go. There's a couple of jumpers that have been removed from bodies. And I think we're just trying to figure out who's got what. And somebody's got a yellow card here. And it's one of the POWELLTOWN players who's leaving the field. I don't know whether it's... Who is that? We'll see that in a minute. 27. Halliday.
Come from the
Halliday. He's got the yellow card, and having a shot on goal will be... Should really be Smith. He had the free kick, but looks like it might have now gone to somebody else.
This is going to be a real heartbreaking sort of shot here if this goes through, because POWELLTOWN were really challenging here, and the kick's on the way, and he's got it. I think that'll do, Cam. I think that might be the final blow.
11-9-75. Yarra Glen now leading Powelltown at 7-14-56. 27 minutes gone into the final term.
Yeah,
Still trying to see who that was.
Yeah, I've got no idea, unfortunately, so I can't help you there. But as I said, when you're challenging like that and you give up
22, I think it was. Oh, the man who started the game extremely well, Samuel Horsley. I'll give it to.
When you're challenging like that, you can't really afford to give away free kicks in a situation like that, and unfortunately, that could be the final blow.
And we've got a couple of 14-point games in Premier. It's 14-point leaders are Olinda, 14-point leaders are Narry Warren, and only 4-point leaders are Wandon. The ball's gone back up in the middle, come back down, and kick out of the pack there was by Jared Bayliss, coach of Powelltown. He's got up to his half-forward line. A few players leave it behind. Yarra Glen in first now for it over the ball, and it's going to be a ball up. Half-forward line for Powley, going towards the Gembrook end in this final term. Ball's back up in the middle. Tapped down there by, actually, one by Smith. Coming through there, I think that was Horsley again. Mark not paid. Or the player played on too quick. Either one. Now a free kick for in the back has been paid, and it's going to go the way of Yarra Glen. No, it's going to go the way of Mr. Folks. So he's going to kick it in forward, as I think the siren's going to go. It has. Benny Ratton couldn't hold on to the ball. And that means our game here at the Pride Cup 2021 is done and dusted. It is Yarra Glen 11-9-75 going out victors against Powelltown 7-14-56. We're going to go back to the studios of Yarra FM for a short break and then come back with our presentations of the best players and give you the other results from around the grounds. Thank you, David.